Hello, hello. Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday. Sorry, I'm not doing anything over here. Okay. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing today? You excited? I'm ready to get the energy moving. I'm like so sore, and I'm gonna apologize in advance. It just stopped raining, but if it starts to thunderstorm, my roommate's dog will cry. So if that happens, I'm sorry, but she should be good, and it doesn't look like it's raining anymore, so it'll probably be okay, but I just want to apologize in advance for that because that's out of my control. But we have a really cool, I've planned a fun class today. We're going to do an Ashtanga style flow, and we're going to talk a little bit about pratyahara, which is referring to the withdrawal of the senses. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and just sit up nice and tall, cross-legged, and take a couple breaths with your hands at heart center. And we're going to just really center our energy here first. Close your eyes, sit up really, really nice and tall. Now I want you to fill the body all the way up with fresh new air. Biggest inhales and exhales of the day. And take a moment to commit to this next hour of practice. Commit to being present here. And commit to doing something good for yourself. So it's important that we honor our bodies today and every day. But the intention of our yoga practice is to bring awareness to ourselves. Okay, so just follow your breath, follow along. If you need to take a break, you can. Don't push yourself past your limit. And then try to have fun, okay? So whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. We're going to start at the front of our mat, standing in mountain pose. And today we're going to take an Ashtanga inspired flow. So it's hard to fit a whole traditional Ashtanga class in a 1 hour sequence, but I'll still try to keep it as traditional as possible. So we're going to start with an opening chant or an opening mantra. First, I want you to bring awareness to the bottoms of your feet into your toesies, and I want you to open your toes really wide and grip onto the mat like they're literally fingers just grabbing on. And I want you to kind of shift your weight forward and backward a little bit and just really, really get familiar with every single piece of your foot. I want you to draw the energy from the center of the earth up the thighs, all the way up to the crown of your head. So you're sitting up really, really nice and tall. Imagine someone's pulling a string at the top of your head. And then let your shoulders relax back and down. You can bring your hands to heart center. If you know the opening chant, you can say it with me, but I'll just say it for now. And we're going to always start with the sound of Om. So if you want to Om with me, it's going to bring a lot of energy and power to your practice. If you want to just listen, that's okay too. Standing up nice and tall, taking a deep breath in. Om. Vande Gurunam Charanara Vande Sandara Shirsa Spatma Sukha Vagode Nishreyase Jangli Kaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantiaye Abahu Puruchakaram Shanta Chakrasi Darinam Sahasra Stirtam Brahmami Patanjalim. On the next breath in, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, walk back, plank pose. You can shift your weight front and back here for a couple of moments. Make sure that your weight is shifted forward, gaze forward, elbows pointing back, and we move into our chaturanga. You can put your knees down here if you want to. Exhale, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. So when you get to this downward facing dog, if you need to make some adjustments, maybe bending one leg or the other leg, or if you want to just wiggle it out a couple times, feel free to do that. If you want to lift high on the toes on the inhale and then exhale, draw those heels back down to the ground. That's okay too. Something to keep in mind is our tailbone is pointing up towards the sky. If you need to bend your knees, that's okay. What we're not doing is tucking our tailbone under because that's not going to be the same shape. So make sure that you're making the right shape here. 2 more breaths. Pressing really firmly into the pointer finger knuckle. Using every piece of your hand to press into the mat. And the next breath in, look between the hands, bend the knees. You can hop, step, or walk up to the front of the mat. And if you're walking, you keep your knees straight. That's a little harder, a lot more core. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Next breath in, arms out and up. And exhale, hands to heart center, Namaste. Bring your feet together on the next breath in, arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, walk back. Plank pose. Shift your weight forward, come down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. So Ashtanga yoga is an 8-limbed practice of yoga. Talking about more than just the asana or the physical practice. In your practice today, I want you to think about allowing the other thoughts to leave your mind. Because sometimes in our yoga practice, during class, you remember that you're hungry or that you left something at the dry cleaner and you're like, wait, no, I need to bring my awareness back to my body, back to the moment, and back to my breath. So let's try to keep that intention all day today. Look between the hands, walk, step, or jump up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Next breath in, arms out and up. And exhale, hands to heart center, Namaste. One more time, arms out and up on the inhale. Fold, hinge at the hips on the exhale. You can bend your knees here if you need to. Let your head and neck relax. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, high plank. Shift your weight forward, knees are not, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward dog. While you're in that cobra pose, remember to pull your shoulders back so you're opening in your heart, opening in your chest. Taking a couple moments in this downward facing dog. And really bringing your awareness to your breath and to your body. One more breath like this. And then on the next breath in, look between the hands, hop, step, or walk up to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. The next breath, arms up. Then exhale, hands to heart center, Namaste. We're going to move into Sun Salutation B now. So it's very similar, but there's just a little bit of a difference here. So we're going to start in chair pose, Utkatasana. So Ashtanga chair is a little different than regular traditional Utkatasana, so I'll show you the difference. I like to start on the exhale, touch my hands down to the ground, and then inhale, take both of my hands up. In Ashtanga, our hands are touching. We're making like a, I don't know what this is, like a clap motion with our hands. Stay here for one deep breath. On the exhale, fold at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, walk back, high plank. Shift your weight forward, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale into downward facing dog. In Surya Namaskar B, which we're in right now, we're gonna also move into warrior one on the next breath. So take your right foot between your hands and let your left heel plant. Arms both up to the sky, make sure they're touching like a clap. Take a deep breath in here. And then on the exhale, we're gonna move back into our high plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, and then exhale, back to a downward facing dog. We have the other leg to go, so take the left foot between the hands, let the right heel plant, arms up to the sky. Warrior one, so our hips are facing the front of the room. Inhale. Exhale, fold, bring your hands back down, high plank, low plank, up dog, and feel free to seriously come to your knees if you need to, downward facing dog. If you need to come down to your knees, for your chaturangas, if it's more safe, so we're gonna stay with down dog for 5 breaths, but I wanna make this point really quickly. If you are not using the correct form in your chaturanga, it's much safer for you to keep your body straight and go down to your knees, because we're gonna be doing a lot of that. Just a couple more moments here in this downward facing dog. Ask yourself, where can I bring my awareness today? Where can I bring my awareness in this breath, in this moment? Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Look between the hands. You can hop, step, or walk up to the front of the mat. On the next breath in, chair pose. And then exhale, meeting a mountain pose again. All right, we're going to do that again. On the bottom of the exhale, we'll touch our hands down. Deep breath in. Exhale, then inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant hands, walk back, plank pose. Shift your weight forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. On the next inhale, right foot between the hands. This is a fast movement. This all goes in one inhale. Inhaling, bring your hands up, warrior one. And then on the exhale, our hands come down, back to a plank pose. Bring your knees down if you need to, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, inhaling. As we send that left foot to the front of the mat, arms up to the sky. Breathe. And then exhale, plant the hands. Come back, plank pose. Bring your knees down if you need to. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. And traditionally, we do 5 sun salutation A's and 5 sun salutation B's, but that takes a long time and I'm pretty warm already. So I've cut it down so we don't have to do as many. And for the sake of time, we'll have more time to get to the other stuff. So wherever you are, make sure you're breathing. Drawing your heels down to the mat, but if they don't touch the mat, that's okay. Just think about that energy drawing down into the earth. Staying here for one more nice, deep, intentional breath. And then look between the hands. Hop, step, or walk. Up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat spine. Exhale, fold. Bottom of the exhale, take both arms up, chair pose, Utkatasana. And then exhale, mountain pose, Namaste. Wow, it's so hot in here, guys. I don't even know. All right, on the next breath in, we're going to take a little hop so that our feet are about hip distance apart. You can keep your hands on your hips here. Take a nice deep inhale. Take your gaze up to the sky. Keep your core tight while you take this back bend. And then on the exhale, we're going to fold, hinging at the hips. So if you've got back pain, and by the way, if you have back pain, it's because your hips and your hamstrings are tight. So if this is uncomfortable for you, then you can bend your knees here, and that's totally fine. If you can reach your toes, take your peeps fingers around your big toes, and then draw your elbows out to create some traction here. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths, 5 breaths total. Allow your head and neck to relax. You don't want to be stressed in the back of your neck or anything, holding tension there, it's okay. Maybe you shift your weight forward and backward just a little bit to play around with your awareness and your center of balance. And then on the next breath, coming up to a halfway lift, pull, lift everything up. And then exhale, fold. On the next fold, take your hands, palms facing up, fingers facing you, underneath your feet, moving into gorilla pose. You can feel your toes kind of gently massaging your wrists here. And then same thing with the elbows. Take them out to the side so you can feel that traction pulling in the back of the hamstrings. Let your head and neck relax. You can allow your abdomen to rest on your thighs if you've got your knees bent. That's totally cool. Make sure you're still following your breathing. And you can smile if that seems fun for you. On the next breath in, go ahead and release the hands. Bend the knees, come all the way up. Then just take a little hop, feet back together. Mountain pose, Namaste. So next we're going to take the right foot to the back of the mat and turn your right toes to be squared with the front of the mat or the back of the mat, and take your left feet out like at a 45-degree angle. We're moving into pyramid. So it's kind of like the same foot placement as warrior 2. Go ahead and take your arms out, one in front of you, one behind you. Gaze over the front hand. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, tilt up the hips as if you were playing on a little teapot, and then take your right hand down your leg, left arm up to the sky. We're going to try to keep our body straight like a board. So try to pull this top hip back so it's in line, and try to keep this shoulder stacked on top of this shoulder. You can gaze up towards your top hand. Try to be light on this bottom hand. Keep your core nice and tight. One more breath. And after that breath, you can look down, come all the way up. And just go ahead and switch your feet. Literally just turn them around. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. It's important that our hips are open as opposed to facing this way, because that'll keep us pretty flat as we tilt, okay? So take a deep breath in, arms out, really broadening through the shoulders, okay? We're not like scrunched up or anything like that, right? Nice deep inhale. And then tilt at the hips, exhale, fold. Take that left arm down, right arm up, triangle. And then while you're in this pose, bring your awareness to your body. Are you making the shape? And then check. Be like, okay, I need to pull this hip back a little more. I need to pull this arm back a little more. You can correct yourself. And if you really want to work for it, try doing this against a wall. And then you see like how not flat you actually are. It's crazy. Not saying you in particular, I'm talking about me, personal experience, but really fun. One more breath, guys. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and look down, come all the way up. We're gonna switch the feet again. So we're gonna do a reverse triangle now. So I like to turn my body so like my hips are actually squared to my front leg now. Take your arms like this, nice deep inhale. And then on the exhale, take your left arm down, right arm up. So what's important here is if you didn't touch the floor during your first triangle, you're not gonna touch the floor during your revolved triangle, I don't think. So try to keep your hand where it was on the other side and pull this top shoulder, the right shoulder back as much as you can for this twist. Try to stay balanced on your feet. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Come up. Go ahead and switch other way. Turn your body towards the front of your mat. And I don't know if you guys saw that, but like my weight was leaning on the inner part, like the arch of my foot. And I really want my weight to be on the blade edge of my foot. So if you can make that little adjustment, it makes a big difference. Okay, go ahead and face your front foot. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, right hand down, left arm up. And then pull that left shoulder back as you open yourself up in this twist. Where is your awareness in this pose? Try to bring it back to your body, to your breath. Go ahead and look down. We're going to come up. And then hop your feet together. The front of your mat. Woo, mountain pose. So we're going to do the same thing. Not same thing. Similar thing. Take the right foot to the back of the mat. Turn the toes same direction they were before. We're going to bend this front knee a lot. Actually, I'm going to move it out a little more. We're going to move into side angle pose. So if your side angle looks like this and you want to rest your right forearm on your right thigh and take your left arm up to the sky, that's perfect for you. Take this way. If you want a little more work, I like to press my forearm into my thigh so that I can't lean on it. Okay, because I feel like leaning is kind of cheating, but who am I to tell you what to do? I'm just here to give you suggestions. You can reach the floor. Maybe you touch your hand down to the ground, or in Ashtanga, you take your hand behind your leg. So you can feel this like right thigh really pressing into your armpit here, and you can take your left arm up over your head. Staying here for one more breath. And after that breath, just come up. Switch sides. Other way, and our hips are open like we were in triangle. So bend that front knee, open in that hip a lot. And then take side angle the other way. You can take the same variation that you took on the other side. If you put your hand behind, or if you place it on the leg, yogi's choice. Taking one more nice deep breath. And then coming up. We're going to do reverse side angle. So go ahead and switch your feet to the other way. Now we're going to come down onto this knee of the left foot. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a nice deep inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to twist, taking that left elbow outside the right knee. And then I'm going to show you from this direction. And then after your elbows there, I like to push into my hands to push my chest up towards my thumbs so that my thumbs are at the center of my chest. Okay? So notice you can use that to push and grip. And you can stay here just like this. Or if you want to come up onto those toes of the back leg, you can for a little more work. And if you're really flexible and you want to give it a try, you can come up onto that blade edge of that left foot, like as if your legs were the same as they were in side angle pose. Wherever you are, try to push your chest into your thumbs a little more. And then go ahead and release, just come out. Come all the way up, and then we're going to do the other side. So you can come down onto your knee of the right foot here. Take a deep breath in, hands at heart center. Now on the exhale, take your right elbow outside of that left knee, and then press into your hands so that they can come up to your chest. Try to keep them centered with your sternum, and you can either stay here or same thing as the other side, come onto that back leg. If you're up on the toes of that back leg, keep the whole back leg active. So engage that glute. And then if you want to go for the full expression, you can come onto the blade edge of that right foot. Or press the blade edge of that right foot down. Sinking really nice and deep into that front hip. Now on the next breath in, coming out. Yes, nice and graceful. Meeting in mountain pose, Namaste at the front of your mat. Let's take a nice deep breath in, arms out and up. And exhale, bring the hands to your heart. And take a nice strong inhale here. And then exhale through the mouth. Just release anything that's holding you back. Anything that's not serving you anymore. We'll do that again. Take one more nice deep inhale. And then exhale through the mouth. Whenever you're ready, just go ahead and open your eyes. You can release the hand. We're going to move into a wide-legged forward fold. So take that right foot to the back of the mat one more time. This time, toes are facing the same direction, or they're slightly pigeon-toed. You want to keep the knees safe. Take a nice deep inhale, little back bend. And then exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. If you can reach the ground, awesome. If you can't, that's okay too. If you can reach the ground, place your fingers in line with your toes. And then how we did in Paschimottanasana earlier, or Padmottanasana, you can use your elbows to gain some traction here and give yourself a deeper stretch in the hamstring. When you're in this pose, allow your head and neck to relax. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And if anything is popping up in your mind, allowing your exhales to gently let them float away. Taking one more nice deep breath here. And then we're going to come all the way up. We're going to do one more version of Fridayyyyy, which is that same fold we were in. This time we'll take both of our hands, interlace them behind our back. Take a nice strong inhale. I like a back bend. Because also when I back bend, I make sure that I kind of poke my tailbone out so that I know I'm hinging at my hips when I fold. So it's kind of a trick. Inhale, back bend. And then exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. You can leave your hands interlaced, or if you want, you can let them come over your head. If you have a strap or a t-shirt or anything like that, you can actually get so much deeper of a stretch. So it's not only used for people who are not that flexible, you can use it if you just want to get a deeper stretch as well. So like notice how much more my hands can go with the strap versus when they're just together. Staying here for a couple of deep breaths. And while you're in this pose, make sure to keep your legs very active. Allow your head and neck to relax. Shoulders to relax. Your jaw to relax. The space between the eyebrows to relax. Yeah. And on the next breath in, go ahead and come all the way up. Yeah. Meet mountain pose. Once you get in, take a nice deep inhale, draw the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, draw them down the back. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, shoulders up. And exhale, back and down. Awesome. Take the right foot to the back of the mat, but not as far as we've been taking it. So we're just going to take it like, I don't know, 2 steps in front, okay? Maybe 3. We're going to take your hands on your hips and turn them squared to the back of the mat. And then we're gonna take our hands into reverse prayer as we move into a pyramid. So if you can reach your hands like this is where you will stay. If you can't reach your hands to be in reverse prayer, just grab opposite elbows. Our left foot is out to a 45-degree angle. Our right foot's facing forward, hips squared away, and then hands in position. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. And if you don't fold very far, that's okay. Take another inhale. And allow your exhale to potentially move you a little deeper into the pose. So if you're just stuck here, that's totally fine. Just breathe into it. And maybe your exhales will take you a little deeper. Something else I like to think about in this pose is bringing awareness to my feet and what part of my feet is taking the most pressure and absorbing the most weight. Is it the arches of my feet or is it that blade edge of my feet? And am I evenly distributing the weight amongst all four corners of my feet? Keep that navel drawn in, legs engaged. On the next breath in, come up. If you've got reverse prayer hands, keep your hands exactly how they are. Just switch the feet. If you've got opposite elbows, just switch elbow grabs so that you're grabbing the wonky one now. Feet are in position. Right foot's out to about 45-degree angle and square your hips to the front of the mat. Take a nice deep inhale, mini back bend. Exhale, fold, hinge at the hips. Don't loosen your hamstring. Remember, same thing, take a deep breath and allow your exhales to move you deeper and deeper into pose. That's the cool thing about yoga is we don't have to get into the deepest part of the pose on the first breath. It's about relaxing and allowing it to come to you. Keeping those legs nice and strong. Same awareness in the feet. Feeling open in the chest. Core is nice and engaged. Good. Come up. Release the hands. Then meet mountain pose. All right, we've got some balancing sequence to do now. And we're going to start with our feet together. And I always like to say this, but open your toes like they're hands and just grab onto the ground. Imagine that your toes are roots of a tree and they're just like sinking their way into the soil, okay? And stand up really nice and tall, energized, draw the energy from the bottoms of your feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Draw them through the collarbones. You can bring your hands to heart center. Let's take a really nice centering breath in mountain pose, really energized here. And then on the next breath, we're going to move forward, okay? So we're going to take that right leg, bend at the knee, and you can just literally hold on to your knee here, or if you can reach, or if you have a strap, you can hold on to your toe. So we'll stay here for 5 breaths. It's hard for me to talk while I'm balancing, so I'm sorry. Keep your core drawn in. Keep your bottom leg engaged to keep you balanced. Stand up nice and tall. Right, if you've got your knee bent here, after the 5th breath, we're gonna open that right knee over to the right. And if you can stay here, and this is fine, you can take your gaze to the left. If you've got your toe in your hand, you can take your whole leg out to the right. You can take your gaze to the left. If you fall down, that's okay. You can get back up. Nobody's watching you. Nobody's judging you. This is your practice. And after that 5th breath, come back up to center. Release that foot. Just keep that foot strong. Demi point through the toe. Try to lift that foot a little higher. Feel that burn. Be present in this. And then go ahead and release. Oh yeah. Bring that right foot down to the ground. If you need to shake your left leg out, feel free. If you need to wiggle around, make some wiggles. If you want to rock your arms side to side. This is not really a part of Ashtanga, but I like to make yoga fun, okay? All right, whenever you're ready, come back up to mountain pose. Stand up nice and tall. Open your toes nice and wide. Bring awareness to to the bottoms of your feet. Draw that energy from the core of the earth all the way up to the crown of your head. Bring your hands to heart center and take a nice, deep, intentional breath. All right, got one more side to do. So on the next inhale, just bend that left leg. You can hold on to that knee here, or if you've got the reach for the big toe, go for it. Taking a couple breaths here. It's supposed to be 5. On the next breath, taking that left foot over to the left. If you've got the knee, just turn that knee outward. If you've got the toe, take that toe out. Balancing or smiling makes you balance better. Just kidding. If you fall down, that's okay. You can get up, you can stay strong. Whew, one more breath here. And then take your foot out to the front, kick it out there. Demi, point through the toe, try not to fall. Stand up nice and strong, core engaged, shoulders drawn back, lift that foot a little higher. One more breath. And then bring that left foot down to the mat. You can shake your right leg out. You can make some wiggles if you want to. Yeah. All right. Mountain pose. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Actually, we're going to do Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana and tree pose. So we've got a couple different options here. Go ahead and stand with your feet together, mountain pose, nice strong line of energy in you. And the first option is going to be tree pose. So you can keep your hands on your hips or at heart center. Bend that right knee, open your right foot out to the right. You can stay here just like this, or you can place your bottom of your foot on your calf or on your thigh, skipping over the knee, okay? So we're not placing our foot on our knee because that's not safe. So this is the first option. If you want to make some tree branches, that's nice and pretty. The second option is Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana, and you're going to take a lotus, half lotus on the right leg. Hold on, I'm losing my balance. Okay, I can't watch myself in the video. Take a half lotus on the right leg. You can grab onto that right foot with your left hand, and then take the right hand behind you, grab onto your wrist, or if you can take the full expression, you can grab onto your foot with your right hand. Take a deep breath in here, and then on the exhale, fold, hinging at the hips, and then fold all the way forward. While you're in this pose, try to engage that right knee, drawing it out to the right a little more. If you're in tree pose, gently come down. We're going to switch sides. If you're in this pose, gently come up. Release that leg with ease. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, okay? So take a nice deep breath in. Maybe you're taking tree pose with the kickstand. Maybe you've got it on the calf or the thigh, skipping over the knee. Or if you want to take the deeper expression, point through that left toe and place that foot in your hip crease like a half lotus. Take the left hand behind the body and grab hold of that foot. Keep this leg energized, pulling out that way. Nice strong inhale, and then exhale, fold. While you're in this pose, maybe asking yourself, where can I soften? On the next inhale, coming all the way up. Gently release that leg, being kind to our knee. And then coming down. Yes, mountain pose. We're going to take a vinyasa. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Walk back to the plank pose. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhaling to a downward facing dog. Now we're going to take a look between our hands and we're going to hop up to the front of the mat, meeting in a chair pose. So once you get here, take your arms out and up. We'll stay here for 2 breaths today. After that second breath, just let your hands plant on the ground. Walk back. We're going to skip the vinyasa, so just come to a downward facing dog. Go ahead and take that right foot up to the sky, bend in the knee, open in the hip a little bit. And then we're going to place that right foot between the hands. Take that left foot down, warrior 1. Arms up above you. Your gaze can go up to those hands. Sinking really nice and deep into that front foot. And on the next breath, go ahead and straighten. We're going to switch. So square your hips to the back of the mat now. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, warrior 1 on the other side. Draw that left knee out to the left. Then go ahead and just switch the hands to warrior 2. Open your hips up, out to the side. We'll take a breath here. And then switch the legs. Other way, warrior 2 on the other side. And then go ahead and cartwheel hands down. I'm going to bring this left foot to the back of the mat, meeting in a down dog. And since we did a little hip circle on the other side, we'll do it on the left. So take that left foot up. Make a little hip circle here. And then bring your feet together at the back of the mat. So we're going to move to sitting now. If you want to just jump to a seat, you can just jump down and sit. We're going to meet in Dandasana. If you want to learn jump throughs are my favorite part of Ashtanga, so I love to teach them with you guys because you feel really proud of yourself when you can do it. So if you have blocks around you, that's going to be really, really helpful. If you can do it on this setting, that's great. This one will work too, but this one's going to give you more space, okay? So if you're going to meet in Dandasana, just go ahead and come to a seat. If you want to bend your knees, take them up to the sky and rock your hips side to side or your knees side to side for a moment. Just take a couple breaths. I'm going to teach this jump through, okay? So when you're in your downward facing dog, my hands are on blocks right now, but imagine they're not, okay? Lower, downward facing dog. You're going to look between your hands more like to the very, very front of your mat, okay? Like forward and up because that's the direction we're going. I'm going to come back to the blocks so that I can show you guys for real. We're going to come up on our tippy toes, bend in the knees, and look forward and up as we jump through to a seat, okay? There we go. It's usually a lot more graceful. I'm really sore today. So the reason why I'm showing you guys this is because throughout the rest of the practice, we're going to be doing the seated poses. And after almost every single seated pose, you're going to take a vinyasa. And you don't have to take a vinyasa if you're tired because you can just take a forward fold and a backward stretch. But if you do want the work and you want to take a vinyasa, you're going to really enjoy doing jump throughs because you'll get better and better each time. And it feels really rewarding, okay? So, once you get to this Dandasana, and I'll show it again with the next one too. Take your hands down by your side, extend your legs long, keep these legs nice and active. So activated that your heels can almost come off the ground, or maybe they do come off the ground here. Take your hands, palms facing down, sit up nice and tall. Very gentle tuck of the chin, so we're not too tucked, just very gentle. And we're going to breathe here for 5 breaths. Circling back to your inner awareness. What are you focusing on right now? Last breath. And you can go ahead and release. We're going to take a forward fold here. So something that I like to do is I like to gently walk my hands forward. And then I stay right here where I'm at because I know that when I'm poking my tailbone out and hinging at my hips, maybe this is as far as I can go. But if I just grab for my feet, I sometimes just rounded my back out of habit. So I like to take very gentle steps. If you've got a strap or a towel or a t-shirt with you, you can hold onto your strap. You can allow yourself to pull with that upper body like we were doing earlier, so you can get a deeper stretch in your hamstring. It's not going to work if you're rounding in your back, so make sure that your tailbone is poking out. You might have to move the flesh out of the way to do this too. And then fold. Lead with your heart in the fold. Keep your legs nice and active. If you can reach your feet, take your peace fingers around your big toe and hold that upper body to get a little more traction. Awesome. Go ahead and release. Come up. We're going to move into Purvottanasana. So this is reverse tabletop for some of you. You can bring your feet in. We're going to take a nice deep long exhale and then exert on the inhale. So lifting our hips up to the sky. Oh, my feet are a little too close. You can take this for 5 breaths. Do it on your own. Or if you want the full expression, Purvottanasana, you just lift your hips, press the bottoms of your feet into the ground. Keep your neck neutral. Lift your hips up high, core engaged. And then release. Whew. Coming down, then we're going to take a vinyasa. So if you want to take a jump back, just jumping through to a chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then a downward facing dog. If you want to just take that forward fold and backward stretch, that's good for you. If you want to take a jump through, we're going to meet seated again. Look forward and up, come up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees out wide, get that momentum going, and then, I messed up. Kick with your feet, use your core, and then come down to the seat. All right, so now we're going to do Padmottanasana. So we're going to take that foot the same way we did in that tree pose. So half lotus. Point to that right toe, place that right foot in that hip crease here. Take a deep breath in. If you can grab that right hand behind the body and reach onto that left foot, that's cool. If you can't, just grab your right foot with your left hand and then grab onto your wrist with the right hand. And then you can fold, hinging at the hips. I'm going to show you standing up so that you can see what I'm saying. So if you can't reach that foot with this hand, just grab onto the foot with the other hand and then take the right hand and grab onto the left arm like this. Folding, hinging at the hips. And this pose is called Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Keep this left leg nice and strong, toes flexed back towards the face. Imagine how we were in Dandasana earlier and we were trying to lift our heels off the ground. We're still doing that. We're going to come up now. Go ahead and switch legs. Pointing that left foot and taking the full bind if you can. If you can't, just grab onto that hand with the other. Grab onto the arm with the other hand. Take a deep breath in. Right leg nice and flexed. And exhale, fold. If you can, reach that foot with the bind. You can make it a goal to take your peace fingers around the big toe of the right foot and gently fold, pulling with that arm like we were doing earlier to get that traction in the back of the hamstring. And then go ahead and release. If you want to take a vinyasa, feel free. We're running a little low on time, so I'm going to take a forward fold and a backward stretch. And then we're going to meet right here. We're going to move into Janusirsasana. So I'm going to face y'all so you can see. Bend that right knee out and open to the right, and then press that right foot into the left leg. And so we're here. Take a nice strong inhale. Turn a little bit towards that left extended leg and keep this leg active. Nice strong breath. And then exhale, fold. Like I said, gently walk your hands down because there's no prize for touching your head to your knee. But there is a prize for being safe, and it's not having pain. So next breath in, come up. We're gonna switch legs now. Taking that left foot, attach it to that right thigh. Keep this left knee bent out to the left. Right leg nice and active, nice and strong. Turn your body towards that right leg. Nice strong inhale. And then exhale, fold. Maybe you stay here. If you can grab onto the toes, you can grab. Or if you can reach past the toes, maybe you grab onto your hand on the other side of the foot. I know you can't see that, but it looks like this. And then gently release. Coming all the way up. We're not going to take a vinyasa this time. Just go ahead and bring your left leg out long and take the right foot in, knee facing up. So take about a handprint width between the foot and the thigh. And then take a nice strong inhale. And then exhale, take your right arm, like swim it around your right leg. And we're going to fold this way. So try to interlace your fingers behind your back here. Inhale, find length, and then exhale, fold. I'm going to turn so you can see what's going on here. Same here for 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to go ahead and release that through the other leg. Now turn this way so you guys can see. Take a nice strong inhale. Swim that left arm around, right arm around. Find each other. Strong breath, pull away. And then exhale, fold. Notice how my right leg, the extended leg, is always active. Good. And then after that, you can slowly release. I'm going to turn around. We're going to take a boat pose. So go ahead and lean your torso back, open in the heart. And then you can hold on to the back of your legs as you bring your feet up into this boat pose. Or you can just keep your feet long, or you can keep your feet bent. Try to keep your toes in line with your eyes and really open in the heart. You totally got this. Circling back to your inner awareness. Go ahead and release. Cross the feet. Lift everything up with the hands. And then come back down. We're going to do one more boat pose. Lean back. Navasana. Okay, that's good. Go ahead and come all the way up. Bring everything down. We're going to lay on our backs. And take the knees up, rock them side to side. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and make sure that they're hip distance apart. You can bring them like as close to your butt as you can. We're going to take bridge. So I like to fully exhale all the lungs, deflating like a balloon. And then on the inhale, push to the bottoms of the feet, lift your hips up to the sky. You can press your hands down into the mat underneath you, or you can interlace your fingers underneath your back and then gently press away. You can crawl your shoulders in a little more. Stay here for 5 breaths. Circling back to our breathing. Circling back to our body. And circling back to our intention. Go ahead and release. Come all the way down. Then we're going to come up to a seat here. If you can take full lotus, you can go ahead and take that. If you can't fit your legs into lotus, you can just leave them crossed. That's fine too. We're going to take 5 breaths with our hands in this mudra where your pointer finger and your thumb are touching. Close your eyes, and I want you to really focus on the space between your nose. Space between your nostrils. Just fill the lungs all the way up. Breathe out through the nose. Circling our awareness back in and down. And after your 5 deep breaths, go ahead and release the fingers. We're going to take 5 breaths, picking everything up. So if you've got it in lotus, you've got it a little easier. Just lift your legs up like this and hug them in really nice and tight. Take your hands, fingers open really wide. Shift your weight back and then forward, lift everything up off the ground. You're going to stay there for 5 breaths. If you just have your legs crossed, you're just going to have to lift them up as much as you can and do it, okay? So 5 breaths on your own. Lift everything up. Don't stop. Ready? You got this. Bring your awareness back to this present moment. 4, 5. Come all the way down. And then go ahead and release the legs. Turn your body around so that your head is facing the front of your mat. We're going to take Shavasana, our final resting pose. Laying on your back, allow your eyes to close and let your mind wander, and I'll guide you back when it's time. Bringing awareness back to the breath and to the body now. And start with small micro movements in the fingers and the toes, and in the wrists and in the ankles. Maybe you extend your arms overhead like an early morning stretch. And then whenever you're ready, rolling over onto your right side for a fetal pose. Taking a couple moments there, and leaving some space for gratitude. with your eyes soft or closed. Coming up to a comfortable cross-legged seat, bringing your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Take one more nice deep breath in, draw the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, bringing them down the back. I'm going to end with part of the closing mantra, but we'll start and end it with Om. So taking a deep breath in together, fill the lungs all the way up. Om. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. Om shanti shanti shantihi. Om peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Happy Friday, everybody. I wanted to read you guys this, but I didn't really fit it in time, but I'm going to read it to you now, okay? The fixation or addiction to senses itself is one of the largest single reasons so few people experience self-realization. So this is circling back to the topic of pratyahara that we've been talking about all day, that inner awareness, that withdrawal of the senses. So we're talking about self-realization. Truth, reality, self, Arman, Brahman, Purusha, pure consciousness, or whatever else you want to call it, cannot be smelled, tasted, touched, seen, or heard. Those are merely senses, which are instruments in which consciousness experiences outer or inner objects. To know the true self, it's imperative to go beyond the senses. This is called sense withdrawal or pratyahara. And that's that. So I thought that was really fascinating. I'm really grateful that I got to share it with you today. I hope you guys enjoyed class. I hope you love Ashtanga. I do. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't have any other announcements to make as of right now. We're going to do the split challenge again. If you want to be a part of that, it's about 30 days of like a 20-minute-ish commitment to stretching, yoga, and things that are going to help you open up your hamstrings and your hips. If you have low back pain, it would actually be really helpful for you as well, because the reason why we have pain in our lower back is because we need to work on stretching out our hamstrings and our hips. And yeah, so that's that. All right, I love you guys. I'll be here Monday, 6:15, and Friday, 6 again, and I'll probably do Ashtanga again on Friday. So message me if you have any requests, any soreness, any questions, and all that good stuff. Bye. You're welcome. I love you, Rich.